Hello and welcome back to Dividend Growth UK. I'm David. This channel is all about my investment journey utilising the tax-free wrappers that are provided in the UK, the ISA and the SIPP. So, back in September of 2022, I bought BAE Systems for the first time. Russia had troops massing on the Ukraine border and I could see the European defence spending was about to change direction. I put in £3,464 and for that I got 439 shares. I then kept buying £250 a month from there. For a long time that was one of the better calls I've made. BAE has a strong record of paying and growing its dividends, but the more the share price ran, the more the yield got squeezed. By this year, it was down to 1.9% at today's price. Great capital growth, but the income case had all but disappeared. So I sold. Not all in one go, across 3 separate tranches as the price kept climbing. June of 2025, 366 shares sold for a profit of £4,121. Then in October of 25, I sold another 203 shares for a profit of £1,973. And then finally, in May of 2026, I sold 111 shares for a profit of £1,187. All in, that's £13,040 in proceeds and £7,282 of pure profit. So, no complaints there. Here's the bit I think is more interesting than the sale itself. On the same day as that final tranche, in May 26, I took the proceeds and bought straight into EDEF. Now, EDEF doesn't pay a dividend, so I put SIPP money into something that doesn't feed the income side at all. Well, that's because this wasn't an income decision, it was a growth decision. My SIPP is a growth allocation alongside the income side of things, and this is a straight cycle into that part of the portfolio, not a replacement for BAE's income. The funds spread across the biggest names in European defence. Safran, Airbus, Rheinmetall, Rolls-Royce and more make up that top 10, which is over 84% of the whole fund. BAE actually still is in there too, just a smaller 5.5% slice alongside everyone else. Here's the bit that surprised me when I looked into it. With everything going on in the world right now, you'd think defence stocks would be flying. Instead, EDEF's sitting at a 5-year low. So I dug into why. Turns out, it's less about the wars themselves and more about the expectations catching up with reality. A few things are going on. First, the run-up before this year was massive. Some of the biggest names in this sector were up well over 1,000% across the last 5 years. When our stocks run that hard, the market stops caring about the story and starts demanding proof. Real profit, not just a bigger order book. Secondly, Germany pulled the rug on a major contract this year, a multi-billion euro warship program that got scrapped. Rheinmetall, one of EDEF's biggest holdings, dropped double digits in a single day on that news alone. It rattled the whole sector because it proved government spending promises don't automatically turn into contracted revenue. And thirdly, that's actually the same story as our own Healy resignation back in June. Spending gets promised, then it runs into political reality. It's happened across Germany, the UK and Italy all at once. And fourth, some of this is the market starting to price in peace talks rather than more war, particularly around Ukraine. A ceasefire would remove a big part of what drove this rally in the first place. So it's not like the whole world's calmer than it looks. It's that the market ran ahead of itself and now it's asking whether the money actually turns up. BAE served its purpose. I bought it on a specific thesis, paid a strong growing dividend for years, and I took profit as the yield stopped making sense for an income-focused SIPP. EDEF isn't a replacement for that income. It's fresh money into the growth side of the portfolio, spread across the wider sector rather than one company. Now, I haven't added to EDEF since the first buy. It's sitting at a 5-year low right now, and I want to see a bit more before I commit further. I'd rather be sure I haven't bought a lemon than chase it down. So finally, I have to ask, have you ever sold a strong dividend pair purely because the yield had run too low? Let me know in the comments. I'm curious whether others draw the line on the same way I do. As always, I appreciate you watching, and until next time, bye bye now.